Good morning, dear students. Right, today we'll do some theories in this lesson, and next week, people, I'm sure that we can do the past paper sums. Right, some theories we have discussed in this lesson. Next week onwards, I think we can do past paper sums, and having another 4 classes, including today. I think we have really 5 Thursdays in this month. Having this 5 classes, we come to the end of this lesson so that the past paper sums 2020, 2019, all those questions you can do alone yourself, right? So that will be the end of the free seminar series. And next month, beginning of the August, we start new lesson, but that is not as a seminar, right? So then today, people, last week we discussed what is the quadratic equation, what are the roots of the quadratic equation, and what are the different types of roots of a quadratic equation. And to have this way different types of roots, what are the conditions the quadratic equation must satisfy, right? Now, if I remind those theories, people, again, the standard way of writing the quadratic equation is this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, right? For example, if I consider like this, x squared minus 6 plus 8 equals 0. This is an example for a quadratic equation. Then here, this coefficient is 1, then x squared coefficient is a here in the standard one, therefore a is 1. X coefficient here is b, then here it is minus 6, therefore b is minus 6. Here c, here 8, therefore c is 8. In this standard quadratic equation, people, for a, b, c, if we put these values, by that we get this quadratic equation. Right now? Right. And now you can very clearly see here, this quadratic equation, its roots you can find basically in 3 ways. What is the first way, people? First way is when you take this quadratic equation, using your knowledge of factorizing this quadratic function, you can find the 2 roots. Okay, so you can very clearly see here the factors come in as x minus 2, x minus 4, right? And then equating each factor to 0, you get this way, right? And once you bring this to right hand side, x equals 2, or x equals 4, the 2 roots come in like this. Okay, that means the first method of finding the roots of a quadratic equation is, people, like this, writing factors of the quadratic equation and getting the answers for x like this. That's the first method, right? People, last week, of course, before last week also we did this thing, the formula to find out the roots of a quadratic equation, right? So now last week we proved, people, when we have this kind of quadratic equation, right? For this quadratic equation, to find this x values, the answers of this equation, they are called as the roots. We obtain one formula, right? So it is x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, people. So therefore, this is the second way, second method of finding what? Roots of a quadratic equation. So then if I apply the second method, this formula, for this to find these 2 roots, you can very clearly see, people, right? That formula, when we apply here, the second method I write here, people, right? So for this quadratic equation, as I compare this and obtain these values, ABC values, those values, when I substitute, people, at these places and keep simplifying, see how to get these 2 answers, right? So then I can write x equals minus this minus sign, this b, people, b is here minus 6, right? Plus so minus square root of b squared, b is there, people, minus 6 squared minus 4 into a is 1 and people c is 8. and divide by 2 into a. A is there 1, right? Okay, then I can write this one as how, people? Minus minus plus, plus so minus square root of, right? Minus 6 to the power 2 is, people, plus 36, and here 32, okay, divide by 2. Okay, you know, people, this 36 minus 32 is, this is 4, then we get square root of 4. This way we get plus or minus square root of 4 divided by 2, right? You know, square root of 4 is 2. So then I get by this x equals 6 plus or minus 2 divided by 2. And then you get first answer, people, when you select this plus sign, 6 plus 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Second x value can be obtained taking this minus sign. 6 minus 2, it's 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So therefore, people, you can see x equals 4, x equals 2. Okay, 2 and 4, the same roots we obtained. Right, people, this is the second method of finding the roots for a given quadratic equation. You know, we have another method, people, that is the complete the square method, right? Third method is the completing the square method. All right, once I use the completing the square method here for this quadratic equation, people, right? You can remember the completing the square method. There we open the bracket, right? So then before that, whenever you use the completing the square method, people, I said the x squared coefficient should always be plus 1. If the x squared coefficient is not plus 1, okay, we have to first make that x squared coefficient to be plus 1 before starting the completing the square method. You can remember that. Okay, right. So then here already this x squared coefficient is plus 1. Then straight away we can start from this our completing the square process, right, people? Okay, now here, what is the method there? We open a bracket and put a perfect squared here. And the third one we write, third number, that is the third term in the left-hand side quadratic equation, independent of x, right? Then we write like this, and then what we write within bracket, people? From this x squared without the square, only this x we write, and the same sign we put, and the x coefficient, whatever you have this x coefficient, people, we divide that by 2, and that answer only we write within bracket at the second. So then 6 is there. When you divide this by 2, we get 3. This is what we get now. Then the next step of the completing the square method is, people, the perfect squared here, perfect squared of the second number within bracket, that is 3 squared, it's 9, no? That we subtract like this. Okay, equals 0. Okay, now you know here x minus 3 perfect squared, 8 minus 9 is minus 1 equals 0. Bring this right hand side, people. Bring this 1 to right hand side, that will be plus 1. Now I am going to take the square root to eliminate this left hand side perfect square. I have to take the square root on the right hand side, no? So then I have to put square root. You know, whenever we put the square root, we have to put plus sign, minus sign, and then root of the right hand side number. And now you can bring this minus 3 to right hand side, people. That will be plus 3, no? When I bring this right hand side, and the plus or minus, and square root of 1 is, people, square root of 1 is 1, right? No? Yeah. So then, people, if I take the plus sign here, then we get for the solution as x equals 4, and minus sign here, 3 minus 1 is, people, 2. So therefore, the same values of x coming. People, this way, when you are given this way a quadratic equation, there are, right, there can be 2 values for x, like this we found. These values only, people, we define as the roots of the quadratic equation. You know this already. Understand, people, right? So then this way, when we have a quadratic equation, right, there can be 2 values for x as its solutions. Solution means as its answers. There can be, people, which is not compulsory. Those values of x only we define as what? The roots of the quadratic equation. The roots of the quadratic equation. People, now can we say that there should definitely be such 2 values for x always for any quadratic equation? No. No. So the roots, we said for a given quadratic equation, its two roots can be in how many forms? Basically, three forms. What are the forms? Last week we learned the two roots can be, right, real and distinct. Like this, real means the two values of x come in real numbers, as we obtained already 2 and 4, two real numbers now. And they are people different, right? Distinct means that different. Then the two roots can be real and distinct. And can you remember we learned another possibility? What is that? The two roots are real coincident. And people, some occasions, there can be no real roots for the quadratic equation, no real roots. So therefore, if the quadratic equation has real roots, then remember there are basically three ways of finding what? Its roots. What is the first one, people? First one is using this way, the factorization method. Most of the time, people, if you can't find factors of this quadratic equation, then the method is this, using the formula and using the what? Completing the square method. So therefore, people, basically there are three methods of finding roots for a given quadratic equation: factorization method, formula method, and completing the square method. Anyway, people, by using one of these three methods, getting the values for x, the values finally we get for x are called as, people, the roots. Okay, so in this case, you can very clearly understand we could get these two roots, x4 and x2. First we select, after simplifying up to here, up to you simplified, taking plus sign, we got this root, minus sign, we got this root. So therefore, in this formula, by using this plus sign, we get one answer for x, one root. By using this minus sign, we get another answer for x, that is the other root. So that is how, by the formula, we explain the way of getting the two roots of the quadratic equation, right, people? So then this is our third lesson, people, right? So by the end of this third lesson today, I think most of the required the theories to work out questions in past papers, I think we can lay out what the foundation strongly. The next week onwards, people, we can do past paper sums. Okay, right, people. Then today I am starting our lesson, people, from this. Then write down the heading today like this: different ways, different ways, different ways of finding, different ways of finding the roots of a quadratic equation, different ways of finding the roots of a quadratic equation. Right. People, first we'll write one question. The same question this I'm going to discuss under this. Only one question we'll discuss, right? Okay, people now come to like this. Write down answer question like this. Right. Find the roots, find the roots, find the roots of the quadratic equation, of the quadratic equation, find the roots of the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. X squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Right. Write down, people, the first method. First method, write down factor method. factor method. Right. First, come up to this. First one up to here. Right. Right. People, second method, write down formula method. Formula method. Write down the formula, and by comparing with the standard quadratic equation, you can determine A, B, C values. Right. So standard quadratic equation, if I write here, people, it is ax squared plus bx plus c. No. Then in the place of A we have 1. That is why I wrote here as 1. Place of B we have -6 here. Place of C we have 8 here. Right. So they are substituted in this and take the two answers. Third method, these people complete in the square method. Complete in the square method. Complete in the square method. Right. Take this the three methods. Right. Come to the third method, people. This right. Right. Come to the third method, people. Complete in the square method. Right. Now, people. Okay. Asking a question, learning one method enough? No, you have to learn all three methods. Okay, people. Right now. Right. Then shall I erase this? Okay. Okay, now people, we are going to next theory part. Next theory part, right? Right, that theory part, the heading you can write like this. Try the heading as write down the heading like this. The sum, SUM, the sum and product of the roots of a quadratic equation the sum and product of the roots of a quadratic equation. Right now, right people, now I'm going to take that standard quadratic equation, the standard quadratic equation, right? Now the standard quadratic equation is this: ax squared plus bx plus c, where you know a, b, c are what? Real numbers, belongs to set of real numbers with a not equal to 0. With a not equal to 0. And for this quadratic equation only, people, we said its roots are given by that quadratic formula. Last week we derived, just now I wrote that here. The roots given by this, no? X equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Right, don't try this, huh? Now by taking plus sign, we get one answer for x, it is one root. By taking minus sign and simplifying the right hand side, we get the other answer of x, it is the other root of this quadratic equation. Okay, all right. So then I am going to assume, people, when you take this plus sign and simplifying, the answer we get x, we get for this x, the first answer we get for this x, I am going to assume as alpha. But people, taking this plus sign and simplifying the right hand side, finally we get an answer to the right hand side, no? Saying x equals this, and that value I am going to take as alpha. Secondly, taking this minus sign and simplifying the right hand side, the answer to the right hand side we get, I am going to assume as beta. Therefore, finally, what I am trying to assume is, people, I am going to assume the quadratic equation this, I am going to assume its roots as alpha and beta. Understand? Okay. And then we'll write on one statement like this. Let, let the roots, of the quadratic equation, let the roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And where a comma, simple a comma, simple b comma, simple c, this notation, what are these people? Belongs to, here, this is r, this r, but we have to write another line here. So this is the notation we use to denote the set of real numbers. You are familiar, this you have learned in grade 10, no? Yeah, right. With simple a not equal to 0, with simple a not equal to 0. Right? Let the roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, c belongs to R with a not equal to 0, b alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Right. Now write down the roots of this quadratic equation. The roots of this quadratic equation. The roots of this quadratic equation are given by right. Write down. Are given by x equals this. X equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Divided by 2a. Okay. Right now, people, you know, this x stands for what? Roots, no? Since we assume the roots of this equation, one is as alpha, the other one is as beta, people. One occasion for this x, we get the answer alpha when you select the plus sign and simplify. Secondly, when you take this minus sign and simplify, the answer for this x we get is beta. Therefore, people, we can write this alpha selecting the plus sign, and we can write this beta selecting the minus sign on the right hand side. Okay. Then we'll write people like this. Let, right, 1/2 of x is alpha. Now we are going to assume that 1/2 of x alpha is coming when you take this plus sign and simplify. So then we get alpha equals, right, minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by people what? 2a. Right. So now second root beta, I am going to assume people, when you select this minus sign and simplify, you get, you can remember no, very first example today we did here, the two answers of x we got, selecting plus sign and simplifying and selecting minus sign and simplifying. Same way, we are going to think, taking this minus sign and simplifying the right hand side, we should get an answer that is the second root beta in the equation, right? So then I write that we are here. Minus b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Right. Okay, people, right. Now, our heading is the sum and product of the roots of a quadratic equation. Sum means, people, this alpha plus beta, the total, alpha plus beta sum. Now, I am going to add this right hand side, then to the left hand side, we get alpha plus beta. Okay, all right. Then first one, we can find sum of the two roots, alpha and beta. Right, we'll come to that. First one, number one, sum of the roots. Sum of the roots. What is that sum, people? Alpha plus beta. Right. Then substitute for this alpha. What is that? This. Minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a plus beta. What is beta? This. There it is, minus b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. This we will write. The denominators people are equal. The denominators are equal. Since the denominators are equal, we can straight away add these numerators people. So therefore, alpha plus beta, we can write 2a here we have, here minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac, and here by plus sign we have to multiply both this minus and this minus, then plus minus minus plus minus minus, minus b minus this. Okay. You can very clearly see people there. This this part n this and this you can cancel down. Minus b here we have, minus b here we have. They are together minus 2b divided by 2a. Left hand side we have plus beta. This and this you can cancel down. Then alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a. Right now, people, alpha plus beta, sum of the two roots is minus b upon a. Yeah. So then what is this result? When we add the two roots available for a quadratic equation, their sum is what? Minus b divided by a. What is b? X coefficient here. X coefficient is b. Divided by a. People, what is a? X squared coefficient. So therefore, hereinafter, people, we can use this result wherever we need. What? You are given a quadratic equation and you are given its roots. Then sum of the two roots of that quadratic equation, you can write how, people? Put minus sign, divide x coefficient by x squared coefficient. Then we get the sum of the two roots. Okay, right. Remember this result. Secondly, people, I'm going to take product number 2. Write down product number 2. Product of the roots. Product of the roots. Number 2, product of the roots. Right. I think you have obtained this answer because I need this space. I am going to erase this now. Product of the roots. Right. Then people, we have to multiply alpha and beta. We have to multiply alpha and beta. Alpha, beta, we have to multiply. Here, this is your alpha. Right, multiplied by this is your beta. I wrote that, alpha is this, beta is this. Right, people, now I substitute for this alpha, this answer, beta, this one. Okay, no? Now I'm going to simplify. Right. I'm going to use in one step few operations. First thing is this, people. This minus sign and this minus sign. It is common for this second bracket. No? This minus sign you can take out. That minus sign I am going to keep at the very beginning. Right. That minus sign only here we have. People, you know, whenever you take minus sign out from a bracket, then within bracket, in the terms, their sign get opposite, since we have taken minus sign now. Then both this and this will be positive. Then what do you get? Plus b plus. Here, both places now we have plus sign. Okay. Then what do you have here? B plus this part. That one I am going to write b plus this part. That is like people 2 plus 3 form. No, 2 plus 3 you can write as 3 plus 2. So therefore, I can write, after taking this minus signs out, this square root part first and secondly this b, and that bracket I am going to write at the beginning like this, right? B squared minus 4ac plus this b. Right now, people, right? Secondly, this one I am going to write. People, what if we interchange this order? Writing the square root first and then minus b. That's correct, no? Why? Minus 2 plus 3 if we have, this is same as plus 3 minus 2, no? Then this order you can interchange. B squared minus 4ac minus b. People, here we have to multiply, no? This and this we have to multiply. Then this denominators you can very easily multiply, because this time we have to multiply. Two fractions. This is one fraction, this is the other fraction. That two fraction we have to multiply, people. Then the denominators we have to multiply, numerators we have to multiply. So then we get 2a, 2a means what? 4a squared. Okay, 4a squared. This is what we get. After reaching to this level, people, you can very easily see Right. Okay, now we came up to this. Right now, people, I'm going to simplify this thing in this way. Right. Right. I'm going to take this part as x. The same thing here we have no. This is x. This b I am going to take as y. Then the same b here we have, it is y. Okay. Then what do you have within this first bracket? X plus y multiplied by x minus y. That is, people, of the form this, no? X plus y times x minus y. The two brackets now. What are that, people? X plus y into x minus y is nothing but, here we have what? Factors of difference of two squares. What is corresponding difference of two squares? Square this and square this. X squared minus y squared. So then here I can write, people, leaving this minus sign before. People, how to write for this product the corresponding difference of two squares? See here, people, when we have this way the two factors, take the factor with minus sign available and put square here, square here. This is how we get this. Like that, people, for this two product, right? If I write the corresponding difference of two squares, people, I have to square this and minus sign square this, right? Minus b squared. People, now here we have to square this. We know we have square root sign there. When we square root sign, the root sign will eliminate. You know the reason, people? Square root x means really x to the power half, no? Then square in this means, people, square in the right hand side, no? Here the power 2, here power half. How to simplify? This inner power and this outer power we have to multiply. Then what do we get? X to the power half multiplied by 2. Half multiplied by 2. Half into 2 is, people, 1. Then we get x to the power 1. That is nothing but, people, x. Then see here, in the left hand side, what we have is root x squared. That is why we say, people, usually when we square this root sign, the root sign will eliminate and this is only the answer. Like that, we have to square this whole thing. Root sign we have to square. Then what happens? The root sign will eliminate. Within the root sign, what do you have? It is the answer after squaring that. Then what do you get? B squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. People, you can cancel down this and this. B squared and minus b squared, you can cancel down, right? Now you get what? Alpha beta product is equal to here minus and here minus make plus 4ac divided by 4a squared. This and this you can cancel down. 1a you can cancel down with this a squared. Then alpha beta product coming as, people, c upon a. This gives us alpha beta product is equal to c upon a. C upon a. Alpha beta product is equal to c upon a. Okay. What is that, people? Right. First up, come up with this. Right. Now, people, we can summarize this situation, this thing. So far we learned. Right. So then we can write the summary like this. If the roots of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 are alpha comma beta, then people tell me what is the sum of the roots alpha plus beta and product of the roots alpha beta. How to write this sum of the roots, people? Put minus sign, divide what? X coefficient by what? X squared coefficient. Product of the roots, c upon a here. C means what? The constant term in the equation. C, constant term divided by x squared coefficient a. Right. So this is the result. You should know how to prove this, people, right? You should know how to prove this. Right? Okay. Right? Come to the summary. Right, people, now we can really check this. No need to check this one. This is correct. We can very easily verify this. Now, for example, if I'll take one quadratic equation like this. Right. For example, if I take this quadratic equation, 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0. For example, I am doing this one. Right. Suppose this way we have quadratic equation. Right. Right. There are three methods of finding the factors, roots, people. I'm going to use what the factor method there. Right. How to write the factors of this? First, we have to multiply this 2 and this minus 2, no? What do you get? We get minus 4. Then this minus 4 we must write as a product of two numbers so that their algebraic sum will be plus 3. Right, people, what are the values there we have to write? Yeah, 4 into minus 1, correct, no? 4 multiplied by minus 1 will be minus 4. Here plus 4 minus 1, we get 3x. Then we'll write this one here, 2x squared. This 3x we write 4x minus 1x, that is 6, minus 2 equals 0. From this 2, we can take 2 and x out. When you take 2 and x out, this is 6, here plus 2. From this 2, take, people, minus 1 out. X plus 2 equals 0. Then you know here x plus 2, here we know x plus 2, take that x plus 2 out. Here we have 2x minus 1. We found the factors, people. Now we are going to find the roots. You have to equate, people, what? This x plus 2 to 0. And this 2x minus 1 to 0. Take this to the right hand side. X is minus 2. Here, take this one to right hand side and divide by 2. We get x is half. The two roots are this. Right. Now, people, first will find the sum. of these two roots? Sum. People, what is the sum of these two roots? -2 plus half, no? -2 plus half. People, what is the -2 plus half? It is -1.5, no? Right? -3/2. Right. Now, using this result, check whether we get this. What is that? Minus b upon a, no? Right. What is b here? This is your b. This is your a. With the minus sign, this is your c. Minus b. B is 3. A is 2. Here. What do you get? Sum of the roots is -3/2. Minus b by a is also the same thing. That verifies this result. Right. Secondly, product. How to write product, people? -2 multiplied by half. This and this we can cancel down, we get -1. Let's see, what is this? C upon a. C divided by a. What is C here? -2. A, people, 2. What do you get? Cancel this and this, we get again -1. See here is 2i equal. So that verifies this truth. Okay, people. Therefore, hereinafter, when we are given a quadratic equation with its roots, sum of the roots and product of the roots, you can write like this. Remember this result. Okay? Yeah. Right, people, now come to that also as an illustration, right? As an illustration here, right? Take down these two, this one, and just verify the truth of this statement, the results we just now obtained. Right, come to that. Right, people? Yeah. Right. Now we'll come to the next theory part. We'll come to the next theory part. We'll come to the next theory part. Right. Now I'm going to take this. Before that, we'll write the heading of the next theory part. Write down the next theory part like this. Write down to write the quadratic. To write the quadratic equation when roots are given. When roots are given. Right, when roots are given. Right, people, now to explain this, I'll use this method. Suppose you are given a quadratic equation like this. You are given a quadratic equation like this. And now suppose you need to find the roots of this. People, you know, there are three methods of finding the roots. No, first method is the factor method. I'm going to use that factor method. Yeah, you can very easily factorize this. Don't write this, huh? First listen to me, like this. These are the factors. Right, up to here you can very clearly understand. Now what we do is, people, we equate each bracket to 0. This is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. And now what we do, people, we bring this minus to the right hand side. 0 plus 2, x is 2. Okay, here also 0 plus 4, x equals 4. Right, people, now you know, when you are given this quadratic equation, you know how to find the roots. Right, now people, we are going to do the other way around, the backward. What, people, when you are given these two roots, the two values of x are given, the two roots are given. Using these two roots, now we are going to obtain this equation. This is what we are going to find. When you are given this way, the two roots, how to find the quadratic equation. Right, people? Then we have to use the backward process this way. Then I am going to explain it like this. See whether I am correct. These two are given. All right, then the roots given. Roots, one is x equals 2, other one is x equals 4. These two are given. From these two, people, I am going to directly obtain this and this. This one and this one I am going to obtain. They can easily be obtained, people, once you bring this 2 to left and 4 to left. Right. Okay. Now, from that, I am going to obtain this. What? That 2 we have to multiply. And equate to 0. We obtain this. From that, I can obtain this by removing the bracket. X and x, multiply this, x squared. X and minus 4, minus 4x. Right. Now by this minus 2, minus 2x. Minus minus plus, 2 into 4, 8. 0. Furthermore, simplifying here, minus 4x, minus 2x, people, minus 6x. See here, we could get this. That's the way, people. Then I amend here only. X minus 2 equals 0. Without putting here equals 0, here equals 0. I take this 2 as the what, people? X minus 2 and x minus 4 are what, people? Factors. Right. So therefore, roots are these two, factors are these two. Then multiply these two factors like this and equate that product to 0. How to find the factors? By using the roots, bring this to this left hand side and bring this to this left hand side. Then, people, now you know, when you are given the two roots, you can find the factors. How? Taking that right hand side figures to left hand side this way, and we can multiply that two factors like this and equate that to 0. Then remove the bracket and simplify. Then we get the corresponding quadratic equation. Okay. So then we'll see, people, when we are given this way, right? When you are given this way, two roots, let's see how to find the quadratic equation. Okay. Then write, people, this way. Write down. Let the roots let the roots let the roots let the two roots, write down like this. Let the two roots let the two roots be alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Okay. Then people, we can write roots. What? X equals alpha, x equals beta. Right. Next one, factors. Bring this to this side, x minus alpha, x minus beta. Then next one, equation. X minus alpha, x minus beta equal to 0. Okay. Now people, we multiply like this. X and this 6, x squared. X and this minus beta x. Right. Minus alpha into x minus alpha x minus alpha into minus beta minus plus alpha beta equals 0. Right, people. Now from these two terms, you can see people, both the terms have minus sign. Both the terms have x. Then I can take minus sign out and x out. Since we take minus sign out, the both terms will be opposite in signs within bracket. Okay, then I can write x squared. I take minus sign out this way, and I take x out this way. Minus sign I take out from the left, x I write after the bracket. So then x we have taken out, minus sign we have taken out, within bracket we get beta plus alpha. That means alpha plus beta. Plus this is alpha beta equals 0. People, this is how we write the quadratic equation when the roots are given. When the roots are given. People, what is that method? Yeah. The method is very easily, you can remember, x squared minus alpha plus beta. People, here, what do you have? Sum of the roots. Sum of the roots times what? X. People, what is this alpha beta? It is the product of the roots. Equals 0. So therefore, people, when you are given the two roots, hereinafter, if we need to write the quadratic equation, this is the people method we follow. When you are given the two roots, the corresponding quadratic equation, you can write by following this: x squared minus, within the first bracket we have tried to write the sum of the roots times x plus product of the roots equals 0. Hereinafter, we don't follow this way to obtain what the quadratic equation. Directly that one you can use. Okay, right. Now start, people. Come up there. Okay, no? Yeah. Right, I think you finish this. Right, we'll come to one example. Write down like this. Example. Write down. Find the quadratic equation. Find the quadratic equation. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are -2 and +5. -2 and +5. -2 and +5. Right, take this answer. Right, we'll follow this one. X squared minus within bracket. What do you write? Sum of the roots. -2 is one root plus 5 other. After the bracket takes plus. What's next? Product of the roots. -2 multiplied by 5 equals 0. Then what do you get here? -2 plus 5 is 3, no, people? Then we get x squared minus 3x here, minus plus minus, that minus and this plus minus 10. This is a required quadratic equation with the roots -2 and 5 here. Okay, right. Okay, now we come to another important one. After that, people, we can go to some questions, right? Yeah. Right. The next theory part, people, very often we use in this quadratic equation question solving. So therefore, some of them, some results are very, very important. Very often we use them. So therefore, people, we have to remember those results, right? The derivation also a little bit important, some of them. So therefore, we have to remember that, right? Now, the next subheading will write, people, like this. Right, write down like this. To write to write some expression, to write some expressions in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta, alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Okay, people, these are the expressions we come across Right, people? To write some expressions in terms of L plus beta and alpha beta. Now, these are the expressions we're supposed to write in terms of this L plus beta and alpha beta. Number one, alpha squared beta squared sum, alpha cube plus beta cube, alpha minus beta, alpha cube minus beta cube, alpha squared minus beta squared, alpha 4 plus beta 4, right? And alpha 4 minus beta 4, right? Let's see how to write them, people. Okay, first I'm going to take, people, this, right? First one I'm going to take alpha squared plus beta squared. To take an expression for this, I take this, people. I'm going to take the perfect squared of alpha plus beta. How to write this expansion? Alpha squared plus 2 times alpha beta plus beta squared. Okay. Then this middle term, 2 alpha beta, we take to left hand side. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta equals alpha squared plus beta squared. Okay. Now, this left hand side is equal to right hand side means what? Right hand side is equal to left hand side. Okay. Alpha squared plus beta squared is equal to this. This is the first result. Right, people? This equals right hand side means right hand side is left hand side. Therefore, I wrote the right hand side alpha squared plus beta squared equals this. Right. Number 2. Alpha cube plus beta cube. Alpha cube plus beta cube. People, you can factorize this by considering this as sum of 2 cubes. Right? Before this, we have discussed that. How to try the 2 factors, people? First, ignore this powers 3, this 3, and this 3. Then what do you get? Alpha plus beta. It is the first factor. Right. How to write, people, the second factor? Yeah. Second factor we can write by observing the first factor. This second factor contains 3 terms. How to obtain that 3 terms? Square the first term in the first bracket, alpha squared. Change this sign to opposite, minus. Multiply this to alpha beta and plus square of the next one, beta squared. They are the terms in the second bracket. Right. People, now this alpha squared and beta squared you can write together now. With the plus sign of this beta squared, I can write in the next step alpha squared plus beta squared like this. This alpha squared plus beta squared, people, we have where? Here. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. Right? Then what do you get? Alpha plus beta. Alpha squared plus beta squared is this. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta minus alpha beta. Okay. I wrote for this alpha squared plus beta squared this one. Okay. Then this minus alpha beta here. Then minus 2 alpha beta minus alpha beta is minus 3 alpha beta. So then alpha cube plus beta cube. Now we have written down, see on the right hand side, On this right hand side, we have alpha plus beta and alpha beta terms only, right? This will be very important in the next part of the lesson. Right, next one, people, alpha minus beta. Number 3. Alpha minus beta, I'm going to obtain like this. First, I'm going to consider alpha minus beta perfect squared. Then how to take the perfect squared of this alpha minus beta? Square this alpha squared minus 2 times multiply this 2 plus beta squared. Right? Then on the right hand side, people, this alpha squared plus beta squared I can write together like this. For this alpha squared plus beta squared, now I can write by this alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. For this, only for this alpha squared plus beta squared. But remember, here we have another minus 2 alpha beta. Minus 2 alpha beta. Then in the left hand side, we have alpha minus beta perfect squared. Here also the same. Now what do you get here? Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. Minus 2 alpha beta is minus 4 alpha beta. Right? Now, people, we need to find this alpha minus beta, no? Then we'll take on the right hand side root sign. There we'll take only the positive square root for our convenience of writing the next alpha minus beta is equal to, we have to put plus or minus on the right hand side. We'll put only the plus sign for our convenience of getting the expression. This is therefore alpha minus beta. Right. Now, people, the fourth one. Fourth one. Fourth one. It is alpha cube minus beta cube. Alpha cube minus beta cube. Alpha cube minus beta cube. Fourth one, right? Alpha cube minus beta cube. Right, we can factorize these, people, considering this as difference of 2 cubes. There are 2 factors now. One factor, second factor. What was first factor? Ignore these powers. Then we get alpha minus beta. Second one, square this plus alpha beta plus beta squared, people. Right? As in the previous way, the middle sign we take opposite in writing the middle one in the second bracket. Yeah. Then this alpha squared and beta squared we can write together like this. Now you can write alpha minus beta by this alpha squared plus beta squared, people, by this. Then you get our requirement. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 4 alpha beta is this part, right? Open the bracket. This one now, alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta and plus alpha beta. Then we can simplify it finally like this. Alpha plus beta of x squared minus 2 alpha beta plus alpha beta is equal minus alpha beta. We get like this. But people, another 3 more we have. I'll give you 5 minutes. Try to get these answers of these 3. Right, another 3 more. Try to get that. I'll give 5 minutes. We'll see how to take that. Yeah, this one, alpha squared minus beta squared. We'll take that first. Right, people, alpha squared minus beta squared, we can obtain like this. Number 5, alpha squared minus beta squared. I can write, people, this is difference of 2 squares. No, you can factorize this. Alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta. For this alpha minus beta, we substitute from this. Then very easily you get that. Square root of, I'm substituting for this alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta perfect squared, right? Minus 2 alpha beta times this alpha plus beta. Right. That is okay, no? Number 6. Alpha 4 plus beta 4. To get this alpha 4 plus beta 4, people, I use this technique. What is that? I take the first alpha squared plus beta squared, and I am going to take its power 2. I'm going to take its power. Right. You can think this alpha squared as, people, A. This is when you consider as A. This whole beta squared when you consider as B. People, what do you have within bracket? Within bracket, what do you have is A plus B squared. A plus B squared. Its expansion, you know, A plus B squared expansion. What is that? Square of the first one. It is alpha squared, no? Alpha squared squared. Second term is 2 times this multiplied by this, alpha squared beta squared, plus next term square of this beta squared this way. Okay, you know, people, here how to simplify this inner power and this outer power. We have to multiply. 2 and 2 make 4, alpha 4, and here 2 and 2, 4, beta 4. I write that next, beta 4. And here, people, this one I can write 2 alpha squared beta squared. I can write as alpha beta perfect squared this way. This way you can write. Now within this bracket, what you have is alpha squared plus beta squared. No, alpha squared plus beta squared. Here, alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. You can write within bracket, right? Alpha squared plus beta squared here. Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. It's perfect squared here. Now, people, we need to subject this, no? We have to bring this to this side. So what do you get? Alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta all into power 2. Bring that to left hand side. That will be minus now, no? Alpha beta perfect squared, and it is equal to alpha 4 plus beta 4. Now, okay, people, this left hand side expression is equal to right hand side, means right hand side is equal to left hand side. So therefore, we can write alpha 4 plus beta 4. Right. What is that? Therefore, you can write people alpha 4 plus beta 4 is equal to this left hand side. You must write, right? Okay. Write down that people the answer. Then if I write this one the left, no need to write again that, no? Right. Alpha 4 plus beta 4. This is how we write alpha 4 plus beta 4. Right now? Yeah. The last, alpha 4 minus beta 4. Alpha 4 minus beta 4. Okay, people, tell me how to write this. This one you can write this way. See whether I am correct. I write this alpha 4 like this. Alpha squared perfect squared minus beta squared perfect squared like this. Then what do you get here? This 2 and this 2 when you multiply, we get alpha to the power 4, this is coming. This and this when you multiply, we get b to the power 4, this is coming. Right. Now, people, you can think this alpha squared when you consider this alpha squared as your a, then what do you have here? A squared minus. When you consider people this beta squared as your simple b, then this whole beta squared is your simple b. Then this is b squared. Then within bracket, what do we have here? A squared now minus b squared. What do you have there, people? A squared minus b squared. A squared minus b squared means, people, difference of two squares now. What are the factors? A minus b into a plus b. Then how to write first factor? A minus b. That means simply you have to ignore this powers 2. What do you get? Alpha squared minus beta squared. Thereafter, change the sign, these two opposite. Alpha squared plus beta squared. Okay, I think up to there you can very clearly understand. Right. Now, people, this is again difference of two squares, alpha squared minus beta squared. What are the factors? Alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta. Right? Yeah. Alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta. And here, next one, alpha squared plus beta squared. Right. Now, people, you can substitute for what? For this alpha minus beta, you can substitute by this. Alpha squared plus beta squared, you can substitute by this people. Substitute them, then the right hand side come in only in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta product terms. I think you can do the next part. Hurry up, people. Therefore, I can write alpha 4 minus beta 4 is therefore alpha minus beta is this square root of alpha plus beta to the power 2 minus 4 alpha beta. Right, I substitute for this alpha minus beta part and then alpha plus beta. Right, people? And the next one is alpha squared plus beta squared is this, right? Okay. I can write it as L plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. This way we can write down them. Okay. Okay, now people. Now we'll come to one question. Right. Shall I erase the board now? Okay, people will write one example like this. Write it like this. As the question, we'll take down this. Right. Write down this way the question. Write down the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation. The quadratic equation x squared plus ax plus b equals 0. X squared plus ax plus b equals 0. X squared plus ax plus b equals 0 has the roots alpha and beta. Has the roots alpha and beta. Find the roots. Sorry, find the equations. Find the equation. Find the equation. Find the equation whose roots are right. First one, write down people. Alpha squared and beta squared. Second one, alpha plus 1 upon beta and beta plus 1 upon alpha. Third one, alpha cube and beta cube. Alpha cube and beta cube. Right. There are 3 equations now we need to find. Right. Right. Now, people, this is the given quadratic equation. Its roots are alpha and beta. Then asking to find the quadratic equations whose roots are alpha squared and beta squared. Alpha plus 1 upon beta and beta plus 1 upon alpha, and alpha cube and beta cube. Right. Let's see, people, how to write. Yeah. Then I'll start from here. Okay, people, this equation has the roots. I write that equation here again. X plus b equals 0. This equation has the roots alpha and beta. Then, people, you can write, today we proved sum of the roots and the product of the roots are given by. Tell me how to take the sum of the roots. Put minus sign and x coefficient. Here, what is that? A. Should be divided by what, people? X squared coefficient. What is that? Plus 1. Minus x coefficient divided by x squared coefficient. So this is, people, minus a. Therefore, alpha plus beta is minus a. Alpha beta, yeah, the constant term in the quadratic equation b divided by x squared coefficient 1. B by 1 is b. This you can write. Okay. Now I am going to people take the first one. I'm going to find the quadratic equation with the roots alpha squared and beta squared. Now this time we are given the roots. Now we are going to find the quadratic equation, right? When we are given the roots, we know how to write the corresponding quadratic equation. Today we learned, right? People, can you tell me when the roots are given? Roots are now alpha squared and beta squared. When we are given the two roots this way, when the roots are given, how to write the quadratic equation, people? Yeah, you know how to write that one. X squared minus within the first bracket, what we write, people? Sum of these two roots, alpha squared plus beta squared. Sum of the roots times 6 plus what, people? Product of the roots equal what, people? 0. This is how we write the quadratic equation when the roots are known. Is it clear? Right. Okay. Then we will first write. Write down first one. The equation with the roots. The equation with the roots. The equation with the roots alpha squared and beta squared is x squared minus sum of the roots times x plus product of the roots equals 0. People, now we learned how to write this sum of alpha squared and beta squared in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Now we can put that here. What is this, people? This one I can write x squared minus alpha plus beta perfect squared minus 2 alpha beta. See the ones we wrote in the previous subheading, right? This way alpha squared plus beta squared we can write times 6. Here this perfect square I can write as, people, alpha beta to the power 2 like this. Okay. Now you have to substitute for alpha plus beta. What is that alpha plus beta? Minus a. Alpha beta b. Then you can write the quadratic equation, right? Okay. Therefore, x squared minus alpha plus beta is minus a squared minus 2 times alpha beta is b. Right. And alpha beta equal b squared. B squared equals 0. Then you know, when you simplify here, minus a perfect squared is, people, plus a squared. So then we get the first equation. How? Like this. X squared minus a squared minus 2b times x plus b squared equals 0. This way we get the quadratic equation with the roots alpha squared and beta squared. With the roots alpha squared and beta squared. Okay, people, take the second one. I'll give you 2 minutes. Take the second one and do this. Number 2. Equation with the roots alpha plus 1 upon beta and beta plus 1 upon alpha. Right. Take this one, people. I think you can do this.